Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Andrue2. Just wanted to make a video today talking about the Primalist, more specifically the Beastmaster. Now I know a couple of videos, there haven't been too many videos made for the Beastmaster, and I think with good reason because their skills they have are just around summoning, so it's basically like a minion sort of a build. So a couple of things you can do with the Summoned Bear, which is very good. Takes your swipe damage. Where is it? Right here. Bears you swipe, which is great. Scales off of your swipe tree. You can do Summon Sabertooth, which is wonderful for Savage Catalyst. As well as, you know, Hunter's Trail and things like that. But I decided to go with a Herald of the Scurry, which is basically a Squirrel build. Now, this is a pretty rare helmet that you can get from either having it drop or by using Runes of Ascendance to convert your helmet into this, and that's what I did in order to get this. One thing to note for this is you do, as an individual, get a crap load of increased health. You get a good amount of armor. You get +2 to the Summoned Wolf, as well as on top of that you get, you know, your squirrels get bleed chance and physical shred chance. Now, kind of going into like why they get that, what is also very good to pair with that is Aspect of the Shark. Aspect of the Shark just makes it so that you have an armor shred chance of 100%, which is wonderful. Next thing is going to be Companions Gain Aspect of the Shark. So basically your minions are going to bleed on hit, they're going to shred physical resistance on hit, and they'll also shred armor on hit. So basically just a full physical kind of melee build stacking sort of a thing. One thing to note is this is great to have for this. Whenever you kill an enemy, they'll gain health, and they'll also gain Aspect of the Shark chance on kill. Aspect of the Shark chance on hit against rares and bosses. This also works for your minions, increasing the effectiveness of that, as well as increasing the stack size of that. So more stacks you have, more armors being shredded when you attack. And a couple of other things to notice is going to be Cry of the Lynx. Cry of the Lynx is great. Gives 100% increased stun chance, as well as 100% increased critical strike chance. Gives you more critical strike multiplier, as well as giving you damage leached as health on crit when you have Aspect of the Lynx. And your minions are going to be attacking and critting all the time. So a couple of let me just jump into here, this build. We'll kind of explain kind of what I do and how I do it. Now, first thing to note is that swipe will have a cooldown. It'll have a 2-second cooldown. That'll be decreased by however much cooldown reduction you have. But basically, you're going to be using this just to have this ability here. So the nearest companion ability on hit, which is only going to be Sciurine Rage. So your squirrels should have this up at 100% max time. The reason for that is because this lasts 4 seconds. The cooldown on it is 8.3, but when you attack, it uses the ability without using any mana at all, which is very nice. Another thing to note about this is going to be the culling, which is the kill threshold, which is very nice when it comes to higher health enemies or bosses or things like that. And then also the mana gain when we attack. So with that being said, Summon Frenzy Totem will give us more global melee damage for our minions, as well as Fury Leap. Eterra's Blessing is basically just to keep yourself up so you don't die. You don't have to keep using potions. And then, yeah, we'll kind of jump in here, kind of show you how I do this, right? So just kind of let them do all the work. I'm basically just running around attacking enemies when my cooldown is up for swipe, and just letting them do everything. Now, they can't be stunned. They cannot be crit. Their resistances, I believe, are capped. I want to say they're capped. I've yet to see a minion die on any meaningful fight. I just did Shade of Oribus, and I did that with Flying Colors. our minions gain an enormous amount of attack speed, and they also gain an enormous amount of movement speed. That's not included with the Sciurine Rage, which gives them attack speed and movement speed. So I'm using my Frenzy Totem to give my minions more attack speed. I'm using my Frenzy Totem to summon Eterra's Blessing so I don't have to heal all the time. I'm using Leap to kind of get around the map, as well as also giving my minions more damage. So, as you can see, he's got the... You can see the health drops very quickly, right? This is becoming a pretty good build. It's not the best by any means. I'm only on 109 corruption, so I have killed Shade of Oribus once. 17 echoes completed with this, and it's been so far so good, right? Let's jump into the skills. So normal, like originally, like I mentioned, swipe is going to be a big part of this. The reason for that is going to be Primal Resonance. Makes it so that whenever you hit with swipe with an enemy, it will enable Sciurine Rage, which increases your Squirrel's movement speed as well as their attack speed by 4 seconds by 40%, which is enormous because there's 10 of them. Another great thing about this is Culling, which instantly kills enemies that are below a 14% health threshold, as well as giving you mana back when you attack. So the next thing to kind of go into is going to be Frenzy Totem, right? So Frenzy Totem is great. It gives us a chance to cast Eterra's Blessing while in range. So you summon your Frenzy Totem. It'll heal, and when it heals a high health enemy. It will summon a healing totem. And when that heal happens, there's a couple of things that happen with that, and we'll get into that when we jump into the Eterra's Blessing. Now, another thing to note is going to be Warding Totem. This one will give them elemental resistance as well as physical resistance, which is great. The buff will only affect the minions. That's why this is just specific to a minion build. Frenzy Totem Frenzy is more effective, so it gives my minions more attack speed, as well as giving them more physical damage, which is basically, it's a minion build, so we're just kind of buffing our minions to do a little bit better. Another sort of skill that I think is very useful for this is going to be Fury Leap. One main reason for this is you can jump from one end to the next simply by clicking where it's at, which is a very nice sort of skill to have. I don't know where my squirrels went. Also, you note that vines get summoned. Now, these vines are stationary. Oh, they're there. These vines are stationary, but they will attack in melee range with other enemies. And on top of that, they will draw aggro from enemies. So the less enemies that are on you, the better, because that means your squirrels are dealing all the damage. You're not being hit. You're not being killed. And you can kind of survive a little bit easier. Another thing to note will be pack leader. So when you leap, they will leap with you. Obviously, it didn't show it in that last clip, but when you jump up like a ledge to a higher area, they will jump up with you, which is very convenient. They'll kind of stick around with you. Another thing to really have about this is Battle Bloom. Battle Bloom makes it so that your ailments are cleansed every time that you use it. And you're going to be using this basically every 4.5 seconds. When you land, your minions are healed. You and your minions are healed, so more health is great. And this is what summons the vines. Chance to summon the vines at departure, and then chance to summon vines at arrival. You could probably remove this and put it somewhere else, but I do like the chance of landing and having vines spawn. It was very kind of a cool idea behind that. So, going into Eterra's Blessing for Frenzy Totem, right? We get Healing Pulse, which has a chance to cast Eterra's Blessing on a random ally each second. Now, with that, we also get this one, which has a chance of summoning a healing totem at the location, which heals nearby allies. It doesn't heal for very much, heals for 100 base health, but that can be increased through healing effectiveness. But the whole point about this is just to summon it. You're going to have your healing totems up basically all the time when this summon works here. So it's a chance, right? It's a 20% chance every second to summon. It might not summon it, might summon it. So we just casted Eterra's Blessing there. It summons one healing totem and then summons another one because of regrowth. So when Efflorescence time, heal over time expires, which is this one, over 4 seconds, it casts Eterra's Blessing again, which in turn casts another healing totem when the target is on a high health. So Eterra's Blessing is basically just to kind of sustain yourself, to make it so that you don't get killed immediately. So you have some cleansing aspects to it. You can cleanse yourself or your pets. You can improve the damage of your pets. As you can see here, the minion size is increased by 20% and its damage is increased by 100%. It won't be too noticeable when you're casting it on your minions, but it is nice to have if you're not doing very much, or if there's a battle happening and you don't feel like you can survive the impact happening. And then you also get elemental resistance and poison resistance, which is great. Increase minion move speed and increase attack speed, which is very, very nice for this build. And then the last but not least, we're going to go into the Summon Wolf. Now, Summon Wolves end up turning into Summon Squirrels because of the helmet that you're using. The Fang is a very nice necklace to have because it gives you health, gives you melee physical damage to your minions. Minions can't be stunned, and you can summon your squirrels up to a maximum number of companions, which basically negates this talent selection and this talent selection. So you get 2 free talents to just kind of choose wherever you want to. I basically just went with the most damage I could possibly get. Savage Hunters, which is 75% damage. Howl of Might, which is another 30% more damage. You get plus 10 cold damage done. You get a chance to chill. And then this one is very nice, Pack Hunters. It makes it so that you can have an additional squirrel active at once and an additional companion active at once as well. And the extra squirrel counts towards your companion limit. So basically you get an extra like 3 or 4 extra squirrels based on this one note alone. So it's very, very nice in that regards. Legendary Bite gives them so that their melee damage is increased, so 40% there, 75% there, and 30% there. We're sitting at about 140% more damage for these guys. And it is pretty noticeable, considering, they can take down enemies pretty quickly. So, with that being said, everything else in the build, I decided to use this, basically because it gives +2 to minion skills, as well as 25 all resistances to that. On top of that, it gives 100% minion critical strike avoidance, gives more health, and gives more endurance and block chance, which is great. Just items that I have on my character, it's going to be just basically just rounding out things, right? Increase minion damage, increase minion damage, increase minion damage. So as you can kind of see here, my minion damage is sitting at about 500%. Obviously, you can get this a lot higher. The higher you get it, the better off you're going to be. 6% crit chance, which is great. Dodge rating, minion health, minion crit multiplier. So I'm basically just having a minion build, right? That was the whole point of making this sort of a thing going forward. Now, it's okay. My summary of the whole thing, it's an all right build. It doesn't do amazing. But if you can survive the area, if you can dodge a lot of the things being thrown at you, and just let your minions do all the work, you can end up making this build pretty good. I wouldn't really recommend this build for any new beginners, just because focuses less on your damage and focuses more on the minion damage. But getting this helmet really kind of surprised me, because I didn't think that the squirrels were going to do very well, considering that the Beastmaster doesn't really have too much going on for it. It's mainly just armor shred chance, aspect of the links, Viper Fangs, which is great, and then just like increasing the aspect buff duration, right? That's kind of everything that's really important about this. They also have pretty good defense when it comes to these sorts of things, right? They got increased minion leech and melee leech. Aspect of the boar is great. 15% reduced damage taken, which is very nice. The chase, which is more attack speed and move speed. If I'm 86 right now. If I was closer to 90 or 100, I would probably get these. Viper Fangs, critical bite, the chase. Those would be a little bit more rounded out. But I felt like at this point is the highest point that I'm going to get with this character. So let me know what you guys think. Obviously, it's not a top tier pushing build, but it does hopefully light up some aspects and things that are good for the Beastmaster. And yeah, just let me know what you guys think. Make sure you leave some comments in there. I respond to everybody that leaves comments. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. It really helps the channel out. And I'm going to try to do my best to put out about one video every week to sort of update kind of everything that's happening. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. Have a great day. We'll see you later.